We are going to learn about AWS Solution Architect, AWS certification. When we are learning the certification, we have to learn few things which Amazon wants us to understand and have a good experience on how we can design the resilient architecture. Resilient means your application should not fail. Design a multi-tier solution, highly available solution, fault tolerant, design decouple mechanism, choose appropriate resilient storage. So these are the few things Amazon want you while coming to exam, while preparing for the certification. You should know this, how we can design, how we can make our application fault tolerant. Second part is how the design the high performing architecture. Means okay, your application is working, that's good. But if the application is slow, will that your user will be able to have a good experience? Third is design the secure application. Your application should be highly secure. There are so many cyber attacks are there in the world. There are, many people try to access your application. So you should design, you should work in AWS such that your application, your data, all things should be secure. The fourth part is design the cost effectively or cost optimize. Let's get started with the topics for today. So cloud versus on-premise. Let's start with on-premise. Forget about the cloud, forget about the internet right now. Let's go back 10, 15 years back or 20 years back. Many companies who are working and providing you the services. Telecom. Telecom is a service which is running for more than 30 years, 40 years. So, or you can say wireline, wire telephone. They were working from last 100 years. If you know the company who are providing you the facility of calling facility, they need to set up the infra. Let's talk about BSNL. BSNL is a company which was working for a very long time for India. They initially set up everything. They had to purchase the hardware, they had to purchase the infra, they had to set up everything before providing you the service.
Correct.
Assume that today you are going to launch a new company or you have to launch a product in the market. What is the minimum requirement? First of all, you will see what type of product you're launching. Let's say right now you're launching a software, some type of software or some type of application you are thinking to launch in the market. So what are the first couple of steps you will do? You will purchase laptop, you will purchase some hardwares, you will purchase some office premises. Then you will create a team. They will start developing the application. You will do some testing. Then you will launch in the market. What if your application doesn't success? What is your product doesn't go as you thought of it should be? Your initial investment will be major investment will be on the setup, on the hardware before the internet era. Many people or any companies which needs to start some company or organization, they need to set up the infra. Infra means computers, any servers, manage them. They need to install the patches. Everything needs to manage by the owner of the company. You can compare this with purchasing a car. Initial cost will be too much high. You think that you need a car that will be useful for you, but investing the so much amount of money versus renting something, we need to think about that. So if you are purchasing the any type of hardware, so the total cost will be owned by the you. You are the owner, so you will have total control of that. You don't need any internet connectivity or any uptime, or you have the full control. So nobody is going to raise a question on how you are using it. But still, the cost is very high. But nowadays, cloud is in the market. What is in the cloud now? Let's go back again 10, 15 years back. How many of you having the laptops or computer 10 or 15 years back? I think everybody, when you were studying in the school or colleges, there might be one subject called computer science, and you might needed to complete some assignments or you wanted to do some task assigned by your faculties. If you have the laptop or if you have the computer, you can do the or complete the task. If you were not having the hardware, what is your option now? Can you give the excuse in your school? Okay, you can go to your friend, you can do the work with, you can borrow the laptop from your friend if you have good friends, but if you can't do that, so what is the option? To rent it out. We used to go to cyber cafes, and in cafe, what is the model there? The cyber cafe guy will charge you on an hourly basis, and he or she will provide you the hardware. The primary thing is to complete the task. You don't bother about the hardware. You don't bother about the OS which is installed in there. You don't bother about the internet connectivity. You are only bother about your task and how quickly you can complete that task. After completing the task, you pay the owner of the cyber cafe the amount of CPU or the amount of time you have spent on the computer and you left. How much money you will spend while completing the task? 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, right? Instead of completing the same task, purchasing a hardware, you need to invest nearly 15 to 20,000 rupees. अगर मेरे को कंप्यूटर खरीदना पड़ेगा तो 15 से 20,000 रुपए का कम मिनिमम कंप्यूटर से. But to complete a small task, you are just spending couple of bucks. So same model is adopted by few companies and they are providing you the hardware. They are providing you the computers on rent. That is cloud. Now, what is cloud computing? You are renting computers from some company to complete your task, to do some activity by paying hourly basis. And after completing the task, you are surrendering back the rented computers. What are the things there are in computers? So what are the things we required when we are purchasing the computer? RAM, CPU, storage, generally, or graphic card, monitor, keyboard. But the primary things which is required is RAM, CPU, and storage. I'm getting these couple of things. I can do my task. If I get these things, I can connect any monitor or a CPU, or I can connect any monitor or keyboard. I can start working on that. These are core primary things in a computer. Right now, everybody is using Google's Google Drive. What Google Drive is providing you? Storage. It is providing you the storage in the cloud, right? What are they doing? They have the servers. They are asking you to use the servers to store the data in the server, which is highly available. You can access that data anywhere, anytime if you have the internet connectivity. So you are renting that storage from Google. Initially, 15 GB they are providing free. After that, you have to pay the charges if you want extra storage. So you are renting that storage from Google. Cloud is the terminology which is given you when you want to rent the storage from any other third-party vendors. So what are the things in cloud? Anywhere, anytime access, affordable. It's very cheap. You are paying for the amount of time you are using their hardware. You know how much cost you are going to get. Predictable cost. High level of security. If you are taking the hardware from these companies, they do provide security. Quick deployment. What is my quick deployment? So when you're purchasing any hardware, it takes time for an organization to get all the approvals, to get the proper requirement. But while working on cloud, you can get any type of hardware easily. You can deploy your services very easily. Scalable, if you require one computer, you can ask one computer from the cloud services providers. If you require 10 computers, ask 10 computers from the company. Low cost, less capital expenditure. You can compare uh, the cloud services with renting a car and purchasing a car. If you purchase a car, you are the owner, you are the whole responsibility of your car. You have to make sure that nobody will steal your car. You have to provide the security. But if you can't purchase a car, but you still want to go from point A to B, if you today I want to go to railway station or airport and I don't have car, so what I will do? I will rent a car on hourly basis. If I have 10 people with me, I can order two cars. I can rent the car from Ola and Uber. And according to my requirement, I can order one car, I can order two car, I can order three cars. And after reaching the airport or station, I will leave that car. I will pay the amount of using that car and I will be on my own way. Here, I worry about the hardware, life of the hardware, security of that car, or anything related to the hardware of the car? Do you have to worry about that? What is our primary goal here to reaching the airport? That's it. Same things apply on cloud computing. Your primary goal is to complete your task. You don't have to worry about hardware, software, patches, security, anything. AWS Solution Architect Associate Certification, right? We are pursuing for that domain. So what do you mean by architecture? What do you mean basically architecture? Who are the architects? For civil engineers, right? Who design something. What are the things they need to learn before they call them as architect? What are the things they have to learn, or when you will call someone as architect? What are the things they primary things they should know? Everybody needs to learn basics of civil engineer. When a building is designing, when a building is getting constructed, the architect is not going to pick up the brick and will build the building, but he will know everything about what is the work is going on. So what are the things he need to understand, or he needs to be very sure before the building start getting constructed? He has to understand what type of bricks we are using, what are the strength of the building, which type of material we are going to use, what is the environment in which the building is getting constructed, what will be the effect of environment on the building, what type of soil, what type of rock is there in the nearby area. All this factor need to be considered before that person start designing the building. If you have heard, nowadays there are many projects are going on for the construction of metro trains in many cities. So if you are reading the newspaper, they do the soil check. If they need to create a tunnel, they need to check the soil. What is the quality of the soil? It's very easy to construct a metro, but what if the bridge falls after constructing the metro tower? It will be a disaster, right? Who will be blamed first if any bridge falls of metro trains? Who will be blamed? Architecture. सबसे पहले आप आर्किटेक्चर को ही पकड़ोगे ना कि how you have designed the building, how you design the pillars. Here, AWS need you to learn how we can create an application software which is resilient, high performance, secure, and ultimately cost optimized as well. Just like any civil engineer who is going to design a building or design a structure, you might not need to go and start developing yourself. In my company, there are a couple of people who have 15, 20 years of experience. They are designing, they are architecturing the applications, and we are the developer who are developing that thing. But before going there, before calling them as an architecture, they should know each type of each property, each strength of every material. There are 100 type of bricks available in the market. Which type of brick should we use? Which type of cemetery should be used in creating the building? What is the strength of the cable? That architecture should know everything. Is it same if you are creating two buildings, if you are creating two metro towers, the, it is always same that the same type of structure can be used in every city. Same type of architecture can be used if you are designing a architecture in Mumbai. If you're designing a building in Mumbai, same type of architecture or blueprint can be used for constructing a building in Delhi.
No, sir.
Why? Because the parameters are changing. So same thing happens in the cloud or even any IT company. If you're designing your software, if you're designing a mobile application, if that application is crashing continuously, will you get a user? और आपने कोई सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया है, कोई एप्लीकेशन बनाया है या मोबाइल ऐप बनाया है, अगर वो एप्लीकेशन क्रैश हो जाएगा एक दो बार अगर ठीक है, अगर कंटिन्यूस होगा तो विल यू get more people or you will lose the users. If you have seen, there are many banking applications, generally government banking applications, which do crash. And you always say that bank की सर्विस तो खराब है, सरकारी बैंक है. So why that case? Because they might be they have not designed their application resiliently. Means if there is an issue with the server, the your whole website will crash. They're not considering the performance factor. They are only considering the cost. They're not focusing on the user experience. So over the syllabus, we are going to focus on all these four top domain or these four things. Mm. How many companies are directly migrating to cloud? There are very few companies who are directly going to cloud. But now you have seen that people are migrating to cloud, right? What is my migration? Moving from one place to another. There are so many companies who are operating right now. They are working right now. But as the industry is growing, they are adopting the cloud services. Means they have their own on-premise application running. Everything is on-premise. But as the industry is growing, they are starting using of cloud services. So they need to move their application. They need to move their whole infra to cloud. काफी सारी कंपनीज अभी ऑन प्रीमाइस चल रही है, पर अगर उनको क्लाउड पे लेके आना है, क्लाउड पे लेके आने का रीजन क्या हो सकता है? स्केलेबिलिटी. व्हाट इज माय स्केलेबिलिटी? टुडे द कंपनी हैज running an application which is running on 8 GB RAM and they have a storage 100 GB. Just take example. But as gradually you know that 8 GB is not good enough. तो कल को आपको फिर से 8 GB का रैम डालना पड़ेगा आपके हार्डवेयर पे, आपके सर्वर के अंदर. अगेन यू हैव टू इंक्रीज द स्टोरेज. यू विल गेट अ बॉटलनेक. कभी ना कभी जाके आपको प्रॉब्लम होगा, आपका मदरबोर्ड सपोर्ट नहीं करेगा 8 GB के ऊपर या 16 GB के ऊपर. सो यू हैव टू परचेज द न्यू मदरबोर्ड. You need labor to do all these things. So now many companies are started migrating to cloud. अब cloud पे migrate कर रहे हैं. क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because you can get any number of computers in the cloud. You just go in the console in the AWS and you can ask Amazon n number of computer. Now second part is storage. आपके पास computer है. Everybody has a computer. What is the primary thing which is there in your computer? What is the most important thing in your computer? अगर आप कुछ काम भी कर रहे हो, जैसे अगर साइबर कैफे भी जा रहे हो, गोइंग टू साइबर कैफे आल्सो यू आर क्रिएटिंग अ पीपीटी, यू आर क्रिएटिंग सम फाइल्स, राइट? एंड यू आर submitting that data to your faculty, or you are submitting that document to your colleges, right? So what is the primary thing? Is the data, which is the most crucial things for a company or for an individual nowadays. Data is equivalent to gold nowadays. मेरे को रैम वगैरह बाद में चाहिए, सबसे पहले मेरे को डेटा रखना है. If you have purchased, let's say you have an old laptop and now you purchase a new one, what is the primary thing you will do first? You will start transferring the data. उसके बाद ही आप start करोगे ना उसको use करना. अगर मैं cloud में जा रहा हूँ, अगर मैं if I'm migrating to cloud, I need all these things जो मैंने पहले ड्रॉ किया था. RAM, CPU, storage. सबसे पहले मुझे storage जरूर पड़ेगा. Then after that RAM और CPU. Agree? If you are, if you, I ask you, let's today start migrating to cloud. Let's go and start working in the cloud. आप क्या बोलोगे? Where will be I will store my data? How can I store my data in cloud? How can I migrate? I have nearly 1 TB of data. How can I migrate everything to cloud? Every company which is providing you the cloud solutions, they provide you the primary thing is storage. So in cloud, what is the service provided by AWS? At least we are talking about AWS. So for storage purpose, we have S3, Glacier, EFS, EBS. We will going to learn all these things in our next classes or in our syllabus. What is S3? What is Glacier, EFS, EBS? Compute unit RAM or CPU? That is computation. We call it computation. Computing. Computing power. For that we have EC2 machines. We have EMR. We have ECS, Lambda, Athena, Glue. There are so many other services available which will provide you the RAM and CPU to process your data, to compute your data. आज की तारीख में आप अपने डेटा को ही यूज करते हो ना, कुछ चीज बनानी है आपको, कुछ पीपीटी वगैरह बनानी है, तो आपके पास कुछ डेटा, कुछ इमेजेस वगैरह होगी, उनको ऐड करके कुछ टाइपिंग करके आप पीपीटी बनाओगे. सेम थिंग इज हैपनिंग ऑन द क्लाउड or in any company. There are so much data is generating on a daily basis. You need to process the data, you have to analyze the data. So for that you need computer, you need CPU and RAM. So for that, EC2 machine, EMR, this all services are there in the cloud. Next thing, who are going to use the compute cloud services? You need developers, you need a team. For that, you need to provide them access. You might know that in your Windows machine, you can create multiple users, and according to that user, you can provide the permissions. So for user management and for their access, we have a service called IAM, Identity and Access Management Service. So we'll see that all these things. For networking and security, AWS provide you VPC and Route 53. And for database, there are so many database available like MySQL, Oracle, Redshift, DynamoDB, or so these are the services we are going to learn in our syllabus. Okay. So these are the primary service which are provided by Amazon and are widely used in the industry. So these are the advantage of working in the cloud: cost saving, security, flexibility, mobility, insight, increase the collaboration, quality control, disaster recovery, loss prevention, automatic software upgrade, competitive edges, sustainability. So we have mostly talk about cost saving, security, flexibility. Flexibility means whenever I want to use, I can use. Otherwise, I will shut down and I don't have to pay the money. I can access anywhere in the world. If I have the internet connectivity and I'm working on the cloud, I can access the cloud services anywhere in the world. There are so many softwares which can give me the insight of the application which I'm running. What are the health of my application? How many users are there? What is the CPU utilization? Is my application is overloaded or it's underloaded? So all these things are provided by the cloud services. Increased collaborations. If you require some licenses, right? You are running some application, you are designing some software, you're designing some application, or you're designing some mobile app, and you need some license, like antivirus licenses or Windows licenses. So AWS do provide you that. You don't have to go and purchase the license from the individual company. AWS will provide you the licenses. Quality control. There are so many quality control checks are there. Disaster recovery. If you're this is the most important thing. Machine, you are working on machines. Machines are going to fail, but how quickly and efficiently you can recover from that failure. आपने देखा होगा वेबसाइट डाउन होती है, वेबसाइट क्रैश होती है, but how easily or how fast you can recover from that failure is the disaster recovery, loss prevention, automatic software upgrade. You don't have to worry about all these things. So while working in the cloud, these are the few things we have to advantage we get in the working on cloud. We have seen the advantages of cloud: cost saving, high speed, backup and restoration, reliability, unlimited storage. In cloud, we have a unlimited storage. We'll see that. Quick deployment, on demand computing power. All these things we have in cloud. These are the advantages. Quick deployment means अगर आपका एक ऐप है आपके पास, अगर आपने आज की तारीख में इंडिया में लॉन्च किया है, सेम सर्विस यू कैन लॉन्च इन अमेरिका वेरी इजीली सिटिंग इन द सेम प्लेस. एक एप्लीकेशन, एक सॉफ्टवेयर मैंने इंडिया में लॉन्च किया है, उसको मेरे को यूएस में लॉन्च करना है. कोड वगैरह अवेलेबल है, बस हार्डवेयर चाहिए. तो अमेजोन प्रोवाइड करता है, यूएस में हार्डवेयर ले लो और खड़े खड़े वहीं पे डिप्लॉय कर दो. अदरवाइज प्रीवियसली if you have to go to open a new branch, you have to purchase the space, office space. अगर कोई कंपनी को अपना ब्रांच खोलना है तो पहले ऑफिस स्पेस परचेस करना पड़ता है या रेंट लेना पड़ेगा. वहां पे हार्डवेयर इंस्टॉल करने पड़ेंगे, कंप्यूटर सीपीयू इंस्टॉल करने पड़ेंगे, एसी फैन वगैरह डालना पड़ेगा, जो भी है. उसके बाद जाके वहां पे एक आप ऑफिस खोलने के बाद आप सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर पाओगे उस रीजन में. बट यूजिंग क्लाउड, it take couple of minutes deploy the services in other region. This is why quick deployment. These are the advantages. Now coming to अगर कुछ advantages है कुछ disadvantages भी होगे ना. So performance can vary. You might get a degraded performance. We'll see many things are on share basis. जैसे आज की तारीख में ओला शेयर है. You can have a full hardware, you can have a full car, or sometime they provide you on a sharing basis. राइट. ओला शेयर में क्या होता है कि एक ही कार को मल्टीपल पीपल शेयर कर रहे हैं. वैसे अमेजोन वगैरह पे हार्डवेयर शेयर होते हैं. सिंगल हार्डवेयर कैन बी शेयर बिटवीन मेनी पीपल, सो परफॉर्मेंस कैन डिक्रीज. टेक्निकल इश्यूज. अगर कोई इशू आ गया, कोई एक्चुअल हार्डवेयर में कोई प्रॉब्लम आ गया या कुछ फाइबर वगैरह कट हो गया, सो वी कांट डू एनीथिंग हियर. बट इफ इट वाज माय कंपनी, if it was my hardware, I can call the technician, I can fix the issue. But if it is Amazon, I can't do anything. I can just go and raise a complaint on the service desk that there is an issue, and they will send the technician. That's the lack of support. Last point. I'm just totally dependent on the company's service center. If it was my hardware, I can go and call the technician and fix that issue. But can we go to Amazon company and ask a technician to fix? Security threat. There is always a security issue. Internet connectivity. If you don't have an internet connectivity, can you connect to your Google account? Can you connect to cloud services? But if I own the hardware, I will go to the on-premise or campus where my hardware is installed, and I can connect from there directly. But in cloud, you don't know no, where is the hardware. You're totally dependent on the internet. Low limited bandwidth between the servers. If there are some multiple servers are there, the connectivity or the bandwidth might be the issue. These are the few disadvantages working with the cloud. Competitor of AWS. Azure, Microsoft Azure, Google, IBM, Oracle, Ericsson, Ericsson Cloud is there, Informatica Cloud is there. There are so many cloud computing are there, but the top two are Azure or Google. And these are the certifications provided by Amazon right now. There are nearly 11 certifications. So we are focusing on the AWS Solution Architect. Apart from that, we have professional AWS Solution Architect, professional, DevOps, SysOps admin, developer, cloud practitioner. In the right side, AWS network, advanced networking, security, machine learning, Alexa, data analytics, database. There are so many certifications they are providing nowadays. So what is the benefit of clearing the certification? You gain an expertise for your offer, display your commitment label, change to expand professional network. Okay, you can get a chance to expand the professional network, bring more products for your company. Many top companies, many MNCs during their tender, when they file a tender, they do say that I have 10 engineers who are certified. I have 100 engineers in AWS who are certified. So I can complete your task in this amount of time with the professionals, people who are they are working in my company. So with your certifications, they do forecast to other companies to get the projects. You will get an opportunity to become the subject matter and a better paycheck. So many companies do look for the person who are certified. Many companies, if you are searching for a job, you will get your resume will be filtered out very easily if you state that you are certified. So these are the questions generally asked in interviews. After the completion of syllabus, you can easily give these answers.